Welcome to our channel. We are Technic Force and we help grow your business online. Please hit the subscribe button to get more updates. Big AI news. In today's top AI headlines, Google's Gemini 2.5 Pro is making waves with groundbreaking performance, while DeepSeek V3, OpenAI, Qwen, and Grok 3 continue to challenge the competition. Meanwhile, LG steps into the AI arena, and tech giants like Microsoft, Tencent, and Perplexity ramp up their efforts in the AI arm race. What's next for AI? Who's leading the innovation, and how will these developments shape the future? Stay with us as we break down the biggest AI news today. Let's dive in. Right, so there's been a ton of AI news lately, but one major that completely slipped past me was LG's new AI model. So that's right, LG has entered the AI space with its own model. What really caught my attention was how well it performed. So this model boasts 32 billion parameters and actually ranked number one on the math benchmark, an incredible achievement. Let's dive into the benchmarks because they are seriously impressive. So, the 32 billion parameter model from LG hasn't been tested by me yet, but the results speak for themselves. There are also smaller versions with 7.8 billion and 2.5 billion parameters, and all seem to perform exceptionally well for their size. Comparing it to DeepSeek R1, which is already an impressive model, LG's AI holds its own. So, excelling in math, AMI, and CSAT benchmarks. My only concern is whether this model was optimized purely for benchmark performance. So far, I haven't found any inference providers offering access to it, but based on what's available, this is seriously impressive. A 32 billion parameter model outperforming the competition, this is next level stuff. I mean, honestly, I'm still wrapping my head around how surprising this is. The reality is that AI models are advancing at an astonishing pace every single week. Just recently, we saw the release of DeepSeek V3. Can you believe it? DeepSeek V3 took me completely by surprise, not just because I wasn't expecting an update, but because the performance improvements were so significant that it left the AI industry wondering what they'll come up with next. So, looking at its benchmarks, DeepSeek V3 outperformed many of its competitors. Now, I don't want to dwell too much on benchmarks, but what's fascinating here is that I have no idea what specific techniques they used, whether it was post training, fine tuning, or another optimization method. What's clear though is that they didn't train an entirely new model from scratch, yet still managed to create the top reasoning model. That alone is impressive. So one of the biggest shocks came from OpenWeight's Artificial Analysis Index, which ranked DeepSeek V3 as the number one non-reasoning model. The fact that an OpenWeight's model climbed to the top spot so quickly is remarkable. But DeepSeek V3 wasn't the only major release. This past week in AI has been absolutely insane, to the point where many people are starting to say that AI models have become commoditized. There are now so many high performing models that simply being on par with GPT-4o is no longer a standout feature. Just look at the list: DeepSeek V3, Grok V3, GPT 4.5, Gemini 2.5 Pro, Claude Sonnet 3.7, Qwen 2.5 Max, Llama 3, and the list keeps growing. At this point, some of you might even be feeling a little overwhelmed. And then we had another release, 1U1T1, Tencent's Advanced Large Language Model. This model blends Mamba, Transformer, and mixture of experts architectures to deliver outstanding performance across multiple areas. In some benchmarks, it even outperformed DeepSeek R1, especially in MMLE Pro, reasoning, math, coding, and Chinese language text. Honestly, I think I might be experiencing benchmark fatigue because every new model seems to outperform the last. But for some consumers, this is actually a great thing. With so many options available, if one service provider goes down or doesn't meet your needs, you can easily switch to another. The real question, though, is whether people will actually use these models. That's why I always recommend testing them out firsthand. You never truly know if a model is right for your use case until you vibe test it. So, what do I mean by that? Well, let's take 1U1T1 as an example. The key is to test it with prompts related to your field, whether it's marketing, design, email writing, or something else entirely. You need to see if the model naturally understands your intent and produces results that align with your workflow. At the end of the day, with so many powerful AI models available, the best approach is to experiment and find one that fits your specific needs. One thing that many people don't realize is that every AI model is trained on a specific data set, and that data set fundamentally shapes how the model perceives the world and responds to different prompts. Sometimes you get lucky and a model is perfectly tuned for your domain. Other times it just doesn't understand what you're asking at all. So this is something I've noticed with image generation models. When I try to create something based on a niche game or concept, only a few models actually understand what I'm aiming for. So that's why I always recommend testing new models with a few key prompts. So next, Baidu just unveiled Ernie 4.5 and X1. Now, I don't think they were necessarily trying to mimic OpenAI's naming convention, but calling their models Ernie 4.5 and X1 when OpenAI has GPT 4.5 and X1 at least a little cheeky. So Ernie X1 is described as a deep thinking, multimodal model that delivers performance on par with DeepSeek R1 at only half the price. Meanwhile, Ernie 4.5 is Baidu's latest foundation model featuring advanced generative capabilities. So to top it off, Baidu made their chatbot free, which is a bold move in today's AI market. Now when we compare benchmarks, Ernie X1 reportedly outperforms GPT-4o, but OpenAI consistently updates their models behind the scenes, making small but impactful improvements. So while new models might temporarily surpass GPT-4o in certain benchmarks, OpenAI tends to maintain its lead over time by refining its models continuously. So, a lot of discussion has also surfaced around AI pricing. For example, there's been a comparison floating around showing that GPT 4.5 costs 55 cents per 1,000 tokens, while Ernie 4.5 is only 2.2 cents. While this makes for a compelling marketing point, it's a bit misleading. OpenAI has been transparent about GPT 4.5 being its most expensive model, so comparing it this way doesn't tell the full story. I mean, the real question is whether lower cost models can truly match the intelligence and adaptability of their competitors. Baidu has also announced plans to open source its model series within the next few months, which could shake up the industry even further. But no discussion about AI breakthroughs would be complete without mentioning Google's new Gemini 2.5 Pro. So, the latest powerhouse to enter the scene. While open source models are making waves, Google fired another major shot at the AI industry, as we all know. And this one landed dead center. At first glance, Gemini 2.5 Pro's benchmarks might not seem revolutionary. However, one test in particular stood out. So, Humanity's Last Exam, this is designed to push AI models to their absolute limits by testing their knowledge in highly specialized areas. It's an incredibly difficult benchmark, and Gemini 2.5 Pro actually outperformed O3 Mini, solidifying Google's position at the top. Another impressive result came from Simple Bench, where Gemini 2.5 Pro took the number one spot. Unlike traditional benchmarks that measures a model's ability to recall and process information, Simple Bench tests how well an AI can think through a problem. So this deeper level of reasoning is a major factor in how useful a model will be in real-world applications. It's also worth noting that the model made the largest single jump ever recorded on the LMSY as Arena benchmark. So gaining over 40 ELO points, that's not just a small improvement, that's a significant leap forward. At this point, it's getting harder to keep track of all these AI advancements. But one thing is clear, the industry is evolving at an insane pace. Next, we have Alibaba's Qwen team dropped two new AI models. So Qwen 2.5 Omni 7B for processing across text, audio, image, and video in real time. QWQ Max to analyze and reason about visual information across images and videos, including blueprints and geometry problems. Next, Ideogram released V3.0 of its image generation model. So the model outperforms Imagen 3, Flux Pro 1.1, and Recraft V3, excelling at complex layouts, logos, and typography. It also supports style references to control generations with access to free users. Next one is Rev Image. Rev emerged from stealth with Rev Image 1.0. So the model ranks number one in Image Arena, outperforming Imagen 3, Midjourney V6.1, and Recraft V3. It shows impressive prompt adherence and long text rendering with natural language editing. Another one, Microsoft 365 introduced two new thinking capable AI agents to help users with workplace tasks. First one is Researcher to research reports using different knowledge sources, including the web. And the second one is Analyst to extract insights from data, much like data analysis. Next one is Perplexity. Perplexity launched answer mode, so the feature enhances AI searches on specific verticals like travel and shopping with entities like images, videos, and cards. Each mode will support commercial transactions, allowing users to act right where they are. So next, Grok 3 actually got its very own native image generation. It's not nearly as good in my testing. It's quite blurry when it recreates images. It kind of looks like there's been some sort of like hallucinatory filter, but it's a capability that's in Grok 3 for free, like adding a bunch of sunglasses onto these cute little guys, changing hair color, changing a dress that a character is wearing. So lots of really, really great examples here from Poonam Soni. So yeah, Grok has its own image editing as well. So this kind of flew under the radar just because of the whole OpenAI native image generation. That's a wrap on today's AI news. From Google's Gemini 2.5 Pro shaking up the industry to OpenAI, Grok 3, Qwen, and DeepSeek pushing the boundaries of innovation, the AI race is moving faster than ever. Who will take the lead next? Stay tuned. Before we end this video, let me introduce to you Voicey, the ultimate AI voice and language toolkit. Unleash your creativity in any language with hundreds of lifelike voices, voice-to-text, and translations. Get access to all major voice AIs, create narrations, voiceovers, and conversations. The only voice toolkit with automation, convert text to audio, audio to text, audio to audio, and change language. The only AI voice toolkit that gives you all the top AIs: OpenAI Whisper, Microsoft Voice, Google Neural Voice, Amazon AI, IBM AI, and a lot more. Go beyond voiceovers and narrations. Voicey lets you create conversations with two or more speakers. Save hundreds in voice and processing charges. Voicey gives you cheap access to expensive platforms through our special agreements. No monthly fee or charges payable to the platform that you want to use. Good prices and savings over high-price end-user deals. Access to platforms, voices, and capabilities that are not available to normal users. Create multilingual website pages. Grab more leads, sales, and prospects with multilingual websites. Hundreds of languages. Work with all the prominent languages of the world. Speaks your audio in any accent. Voicey supports foreign voice accents in speech patterns, even exotic ones. All major global accents available in all major global languages, US, UK, and dozens of other accents. Create dramas, conversations, narrations, fictions, podcasts, and anything you want. Grow your business in any market. Translate ads, podcasts, and create local blogs, conversations, stories in any language. Show up in unexpected places. Appear in local search engines, directories, and websites with local content. The most affordable voice AI system. Use popular AIs without buying an account or paying subscription. Be everyone's voice and language expert. Every business needs voice and language content. Tap this huge market with Voicey. Voicey is getting better and better. New voices, new languages, and new AIs added all the time. So what are you waiting for? Get Voicey now. Just go to getvoicey.in. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe for more content, and ring that notification bell. And if you have any questions, please leave a comment below. Thanks for watching.